Save you a few minutes.
I'm not going to use that, thanks. Well, some traditions are made to be broken. It looks like the EVP is right on schedule this time. And I prepared very few slides with very little language on it so that I would be able to adjust up or down according to the time frame. So thank you very much, Jack. I think this kind of sums up where we are. You've heard it from the other speakers this morning. You all know we've been on a roller coaster this year. And if I had the time, and Beverly had the time to help me put in a picture of me and Jack in the front row, you know, I think we are on that roller coaster. We're all on it together. Where the ride is being controlled by forces outside of our college. And we're all strapped in, and it's going kind of fast. Some of us are finding some of the changes very thrilling. For some people, it's very scary, and for some people, it's making you sick, I'm sure. And it is a time that is requiring the best of us, of all of us, as individuals, certainly for those of us in leadership positions, and for us as a college. We need our flexibility, creativity as we've never had before. And I think you've heard the same thread coming through all of our presentations, and we didn't prepare together, the need for collaboration more than ever before. And I have confidence in us. I know that as a college and as individuals, we're going to have to make really difficult decisions. But I know that we're going to make the right decisions as we go forward and keep our students in mind as we go through this. So we'll carry on with what has been given to us. For the enrollment update, as of today, we have 16,422 unduplicated students, and that is actually down almost 2% from last year at this time. We know that students are still enrolling and will continue over the next couple days. We have a good number of international students and out-of-state students in that number. I want to recognize Carilla Smith and her staff on keeping the number of international students at a level that is really, really helping us in these budgetary times, because that is income that stays at the college that we're able to make decisions with. One of the decisions we have been making is something that benefits all of our students. We know if we bring international students here, we're obliged to give them a full schedule of 12 units. We know that the state has reduced the number of seats that we can provide for students. So what we've been doing is using international tuition to open seats for resident students as well. And in the fall, we opened some classes, we opened some seats that served almost 300 resident students that wouldn't have seats without that. So it is something that is really, really helping us. And of course, bringing international students, bringing people from other areas into our classrooms also broadens the education for everyone. So that has been and continues to be very important. While our numbers are down, we are up in the number of students who are enrolled full-time, 12 units or more, and that is good news for our students and for us. Everyone has talked about the moving FTS target. It has consumed us all the last couple months. And I want to particularly thank and recognize Karen Safaya and Robert Else, because they have been working day and night to try to analyze where we are and where we need to be going at the immediate moment. Jack talked just introduced the fact that the attendance accounting methods have changed. Last summer, the state trained the auditors in what to look for in TBA hours, which includes our plus hours. And what we have been doing that has been very wise for the education of our students, we recognize doesn't meet the way, the guidelines that we have to meet. So Karen, Sophia, and I have been meeting with all of the chairs and deans in those areas where there are plus hours, explaining what the new requirements are for us, and letting the departments during their departments meetings discuss what they want to do going forward. But we have decided as a college, since we understand the guidelines now, that we are not counting all of those hours for plus hours in our FTS. So that is having a big impact on where we are this year. We've also learned that there are differences in how we can account for distance education courses. That doesn't affect what we're offering, how we're offering it. It only affects in the back office how we're claiming, and we're able to claim less than we did in the past. So the good news is we are following all the rules and regulations. We don't want to put the college at risk by doing things that we're not supposed to be doing. The other side of it is causing a lot of departments to make changes. And I want to thank Randy Bublitz and Kathy O'Connor for getting ahead of this, working with CurricuNet folks so that we can streamline the process for program modifications, course modifications that will likely have to take place this spring. So that combined with the changes in the CE course offerings, we don't know what's going to happen when the enrollment fee goes up this summer by $10 a unit. We don't know how that's going to affect our enrollments, and we don't know what's going to happen with the November tax initiative, which may reduce. So we are on this. It is a moving target. We are trying our best to respond to that uncertainty. So the work that Dean Nevins, the Senate department chairs have done is going to be critical in helping us when we have to make decisions about what we're offering and what we're not offering, so that we can do what our students need. You've heard about the budget. This is the amount, over $2 million, that has to be reduced out of educational programs' budgets. This is what I'm losing sleep about. We had to reduce just under $650,000 this year, and it was very difficult and it was very painful. We engaged in a lot of conversation about that. These reductions are on top of what we have already reduced. We can't do it by going in and taking out $1,000 from a duplicating budget. We have to do 60% of this for next year, 40% the following year. So we are all going to be engaged in how we are going to accomplish this. We're looking at the other side of it. What are some new sources of revenue for the college that would lessen the impact of all of this? But this is very, very serious for all of us, and you will hear a lot more about it as the semester progresses. Now I want to move to positive things. Some of the initiatives that we've undertaken. Jack showed you the stats, the success rates for our Express to Success program. And Kathy's leadership has been phenomenal. And isn't that a gorgeous picture? She looks marvelous. And rather than listing all the names, all the faculty and staff who have been involved in developing this program, and I know you want to stand up anyway at this point, and teaching the courses, could you please stand for a minute? One person? Okay. I'd also like to note that Sandy Starkey would have been standing if she didn't have a family emergency today, and Cosima Selmeister Rincon and Charles Ramirez are busy at the CASA Center registering students right now. I think it's important, besides the statistics, what did we learn that makes this successful? And they're really, I think they can be combined in 4 major topics. And one is the commitment of the students. It's been too easy for students to drop out of classes, particularly their English and math classes, when they get the first bad grade and they're devastated. They drop, they come back, they drop, they come back. We can't do that anymore. So having the students make a commitment, 95% of them completing the programs, that's tremendous. Another element that we've discovered is the cohort factor, the community factor. Our students need each other just as much as they need us as educators, to be their supporters, to be their peer group. That has been very powerful. The faculty member, very powerful, who has selected to be part of this more intensive experimental program. And finally, all of the support staff who have worked with the program, and we've integrated the student support into the program rather than having students to go out to get support. So we've learned a lot this past semester. Not everything worked, and I know Kathy's making a lot of adjustments, but that's going to help us as we go forward to other initiatives. Jack mentioned our HSI Title V STEM grant, which is, we were awarded as a Hispanic serving institution, and we need to increase the numbers of Hispanic and low-income students who become science, technology, engineering, and math majors and transfer. Substantial amount of money to help us do this over the next 5 years. As you can see, our leadership team, we're very proud of them. And this grant was only awarded in October, so we've just begun planning for implementation next fall. A major part this spring will be outreach to our high school community. And some of the other areas I think that the faculty have decided to focus on are really interesting. We're going to have a science night this spring for high school students to come up. There will be a week zero before the semester begins for selected students to really get a head start on their math, on creating connections. Where faculty asked for funding to be set aside for conferences, which we know we have been cut out in our budget reductions, and to bring students along with them to conferences to raise the level of professionalism and experience. And we're developing a new course, STEM 101, which will give students a focus and a focus on study skills like we have with the Engineering 101 class. And you can see the team, and I left one person out because when I stopped by the team meeting the other day, Michelle Paddock was still diving in Belize. But now that she has finished that, she'll be back on the team as well. So thank you, Michelle. We also partnered with Cal State Channel Islands. They received a similar grant. While money will not be coming to us, there are going to be some great opportunities for faculty professional development and for our students here to do research on this campus that will be connected with research being done at Cal State Channel Islands. So that's a significant improvement in the student experience here. Jack mentioned that we also got this grant just in December, so we haven't even started planning on this. The $75,000, I want to acknowledge Dr. Alice Sharper and Sheba Laser Lux from the foundation for writing the proposal, and Vanessa Patterson for supporting us as we went and made our case. This is going to help us get started this spring planning, and it will give us a group that can help write the new Title V grant to move that forward. So these are several initiatives at a time when we're making reductions and we're losing things. We are really gaining some valuable support to go ahead and experiment and to build programs that will really assist our students. I'd also like to mention, we'll have more to report in the fall, that there is a career technical task force that has formed and will be inviting faculty participation in the spring to work on that. I only have one more slide. I know you're ready to go to your division meetings. Okay, big change. In August, we're making a transition from GroupWise to Gmail. Why? It's going to be more powerful, it's going to be more convenient, it's going to allow for collaboration, it's going to reduce costs because it is free. We like it. We recognize that there's going to be a good deal of training that it will require for everyone to be able to make that move. There will be workshops in the spring for those people who will not be around this summer. And we will have in next fall in service some workshops available for this. Dan is your man if you have questions about it. Day or night, 24/7. Just email Dan Watkins. Oh, you didn't tell me to say that, did you? And it's watkins@sbcc.edu. And I personally want to thank all of you. It's been a transition, an unanticipated transition for Jack and for me this year. Everyone has been incredibly supportive, especially I want to thank my departments who have had me split as Dean and Acting EVP this year. They're doing just great without me leaning over them. And thank all of you. I think it's a really exciting time for us to show all the other community colleges are facing the same things we are. I know it's time for us to show our stuff and to see how we respond to it with the same level that we have in the past. So go off, have a great in-service, and thank you very much.